Okay, so what's going on with the car?
So, I got my oil changed at Walmart like December the 11th, like last month. But then I noticed the other day that when I was leaving out my driveway, I had like little marks of oil, or I'm assuming it's oil, I don't know, was on the ground. So I
Okay.
know something has to be leaking, but I just didn't really understand why if I got an oil change.
Right. It makes perfect sense. I'm gonna explain to y'all why it's important to know how to work on your own car, because you're gonna pay somebody to do something, and then they gonna turn around and oh my god, they gonna turn around and have you out here doing it yourself. So all of this is wet underneath it. So we gotta take this pan off, this cover off to see where the leak comes from. It's probably more likely the oil filter is probably not tight. All right, y'all, it makes perfect sense. And come to find out, after I got the cover off, the car been leaking for 3 weeks. A quart and a half load later, the oil housing filter has been over tightened and cracked. And look at all this. This is why I don't like these things. This is why I don't put them back on the car. I tell people they don't need them. If anything is suffocating the engine from breathing. The hood is already down, so it ain't getting air from the top. And you got to cover at the bottom, so it's not breathing. Only air you're getting through is from the grill. That ain't good. So we go on Amazon and we find this housing that's aluminum versus plastic. What happened was the guy over tightened the filter housing and it cracked and it started leaking. Okay, first thing you want to do is break the wheel lugs loose. After you get your jack stand on the jack up bar. It's a bar underneath the car that the jack go on. Jack that up slowly. Get the car jacked up, put the jack stand on the other bar, then let the jack down slowly on the jack stand. But I like to keep the jack there for protection. Take the lugs off, take the wheel off, and you're going to pop this plastic off. Now, a lot of y'all can probably say all this ain't necessary, but I'm trying to teach y'all how to do it where you can be comfortable doing it and you got enough space to see what you're working with. Once you get those clips out, it's about 6 of them. Get those clips out, just bend this plastic back right behind the brake, right behind the rotor and the brake. And once you get that back, okay, this is where you become mechanically inclined. It's a thing, I believe it was a 13 millimeter. Put the socket on there with the extension so you get to them easy. Break all of them loose, then you take them all off. Once you get them loose and get them off, you're going to drop that down into the oil pan. Make sure you got your oil pan there so you can catch the oil that come out of there, which ain't going to be a lot. Get that out of there, boom. See, ain't even the oil come. Now, before you put the new one, I opened it up. I tried to do it with the pliers. It was way too hard for that. So we ended up putting an impact gun on there because we didn't want to put too much pressure on it. Once we got it up there, we was really actually trying to see if it needed a filter, and it had one. I put some WD-40, and I put it back on hand tight. Once I got it hand tight, then I snugged it. Anytime you put anything on, you want to get all the screws in, but do not tighten it down. Just get it on there where it's tight enough to where it ain't moving, it ain't going nowhere, and then you just circle around, getting it snug, one screw at a time until they all tighten out without over tightening them, y'all. It don't take much. It's easy to break and crack these things and even break the screw off in there. And those are the problems you do not want to have. Now that I got it on there, I give it a snug with the wrench. So after I get there and make sure double, triple check, I want to get it running. I want to let that oil get back warmed again, and I want to let it run. So I'm looking for a leak. I'm waiting for a leak. So I let it run for about 5 minutes, which is more than enough time because usually if something's going to leak, it's going to leak right away. While it's running, I like to be extra sure that we're not going to get no leaks before I get everything put together. So I'm giving it a chance to run, and I'm giving it a chance to do what it needs to do. I'm putting the plastic back on there. You just pop the clips back in. Once you get all the clips popped back in, you get that wheel put back on. Now this is extremely important for somebody. Grab the wheel from the bottom, line up the top lug, and slide it on. Hold your foot with the bottom of the wheel, and what you want to do is get all these lug nuts put on with your hand for the first few turns. That way you know you're not cross-threading. And then I'm old school, so I got the 4-way. Get the right size on there, turn it all the way around. Don't try to tighten it up with the car up off the ground. Jack it up, let the jack stand down, and then what you're going to do is go ahead and snug it all the way around, and I'm going to rotate around. I like to go around 2-3 times. That way I'm double, triple checking, making sure it's tight without over tightening it. And after we do that, we're going to get it on a flat level ground so we can, but before we do that, we like to check the tire pressure all the way around, remove the wheel blocks on both sides, and then get it on flat level ground so we can check the oil. The oil was level, make sure it's where it's supposed to be, which it is, in between the 2 bars. We're going to be at the top of the first bar. And after that, we good to go. We double check, put it in there, take it out, clean it off, put it in there, take it out, clean it off. And yeah, this one's ready to go.